Hey everyone, today is day 36. We are on the first part of chapter 16, which is the last chapter in Mark. We're going to be going over the resurrection. Then tomorrow will be the Great Commission. And then we have a couple other cool things to address before we get to the end at day 40. So today for day 36, we're starting out in chapter 16, which is on page 79. And it's where it starts out with the resurrection because Jesus had just been crucified, and then now things get pretty cool.
Yep. So remember, he said 3 times to his disciples that in 3 days he was going to rise again. They didn't understand it, they didn't believe it, and here we are 3 days later. So Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, the mother of James, they brought spices because back in those custom days they would put spices on dead bodies to help, the smell and preserve. And so they went over there and they were like, well, who's going to roll away that big rock that's in front of the tomb? And when they got there, it had already been rolled away. And there was an angel that appeared and said, are you looking for Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified? Don't be afraid, but he is risen. He is not here. Now I'm on the top of page 80 if you'd like to follow along. So the angel says, see the place where they laid him, but go, tell the disciples and Peter that he is going before you to Galilee. And it just hit me that Peter was one of the disciples, but this angel made it a point to say Peter's name separate. And I wonder if it was because Peter was probably experiencing some deep grief in the fact that he denied Jesus and he was one of his best friends. So maybe that was a way of, making Peter feel special. There you will see him just as he told you. So Jesus was going ahead to Galilee and told the girls to have the disciples go meet him there. So they went out, they were shaking, they were astonished. They didn't say anything to anyone initially because they were so scared of what they just saw.
And so right after you see this, then Jesus starts popping up. And so on page 80 it says, Jesus appears to Mary Magdalene. And it says, now when he rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene. And you kind of think about that, like, well, how come it wasn't to Peter first? And we don't know that answer. But it says, from whom he had cast out 7 demons. So Mary Magdalene is someone that he had cast out demons from. And she went and told those who had been with him as they mourned and wept. But when they heard that he was alive and had been seen by her, they wouldn't believe it. Before we wrap up or this part of chapter 16, I want to encourage you guys that if you want to see some of this done in a really cool way, go on YouTube or go type in The Chosen, and you can go and see the story of Jesus in a really easy, I think, an easy to understand way, and in a way that I've never seen it done before, and it's pretty cool to watch, and a lot of what they show is very accurate to what actually happened. So The Chosen is pretty great. And so anyway, this part wraps up where Jesus appears again, but it says to 2 of the disciples. And after these things, he appeared in another form, which I wonder if it's like he's glowing or like what he looks like, to 2 of them. And then as they were walking into the country, and they went back and told the rest. So 2 disciples were told, they go back, they're telling the rest of the disciples, but the other disciples, they didn't believe him. So anyway, we're going to get into that here very shortly, but that wraps up page 80. It also wraps up day 36 and the readings you guys had. As far as for tomorrow, the readings are going to be page 80. Let's see, it's going to be page 81. I think it wraps up.
That's it.
Yeah, so just page 81, which is the Great Commission. Tomorrow, that'll be day 30. Tomorrow will be day 37. And then we'll address a couple of other questions that are going to come up.
So as we read through this today, we saw a miracle take place, probably one of the biggest miracles in the whole Bible. Jesus died on the cross. 3 days later, did what he said he would do, and rose from the dead. And we want to just tell you that God is still a God of miracles. And when you are praying and seeking after him and you're going through a hard time, we've gone through hard times, we're going through hard times, those don't go away. But what is constant is God's perfect plan. And so he just showed the disciples, and we're going to hear, he's continuing to show them because they're still a little freaked out. But he's continuing to show them just the realness of the miracles that he is capable of. So if you're facing a hard time right now, don't give up. You continue to pray and seek after God. Reach out to us. You can email us at refugearmona@gmail.com, or you can text us at 559-410-0655. We would love to pray for you and help you along in any struggles that you're facing. So we will look forward to seeing you as we wrap up the book of Mark tomorrow. Bye.